Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ellison Cruz, and it's that time of the season once again to return back to Underland with our dearly forgetful and rather useless friend in 2010's Alice in Wonderland for the Wii, based off of the Tim Burton film of the same name. Now, for those of you who watched that project on the Nintendo DS back in 2014, and I cannot believe it's already been 6 years, this adventure will feel extremely familiar, but I still think it might be one worth taking, if not only for the hilarity of the voice acting, the fact that it's different enough to warrant a playthrough all these years later, like I said I'd do, and it's also very easy. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with a new game and make our return back to the sequel of Escort Mission, the game here, Alone. This time in stereoscopic 3D, and the same old cutscenes we're going to be seeing for the rest of the game, so hooray!
Alice, wait! My proposal! I demand an answer!
This is the third Alice I found in a week. How many of them can there possibly be?
Marriage is a big step, Hamish.
Alice!
I need a moment.
Please let this be her. I really can't bear it up here a moment longer.
How curious. Hello? Hello? Anyone here?
Let me see. Must be her.
If this is some sort of prank, I'm not amused.
That's it. She remembers. This is just like before.
Let me see. She's found the potion. I think you may have done it, McTwisp. It might actually be... Oh, no, not again.
What's happened?
She drank the potion.
But left the key on the table.
Exactly so. You'd think she'd have remembered that from the first time.
But the cake. Has she eaten the cake? Yes, good. She's... Oh my! She's enormous! Now the potion again. That's it.
You know, I'm not so sure she's...
She's the right one, Malamkin. I'm certain of it. We should follow her.
And so once again, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves in the hoppy shoes of our intrepid protagonist, McTwisp, who happens to be quite proficient in the fine arts of time manipulation, only to be surrounded by a plethora of doors to explore, many of which we cannot do anything about just yet. If you guys remember, for the Nintendo DS version, we're going to be encountering a couple other characters who will have a proclivity towards certain abilities, many of which we can't access right now because, well, McTwisp doesn't know how to deal with any of this stuff. And this is just going to be a safe haven for backtracking, much like everything else in this game.
Which door did she go through?
Gee, I wondered.
She went through an Alice door. It must be her.
Oh, absolutely. So, without further ado, let's head through the most obvious choice, shall we? And we will do it in the most dramatic of fashions. There you go. Good job. I'm proud of you. So to be completely honest, I think I am going to cut out those 10-second loading screens because they offer absolutely nothing to the game and are pretty frequent, but welcome back to Underland, ladies and gentlemen. This is a 3D puzzle platformer game that actually takes quite a few elements from other familiar games that you may have played in your past. I'm sure you'll see them once they come up, but first, let's approach this rather hostile looking gate and start using our magic powers. So we press Z so that we can see items that are sensitive to special powers and they'll flash. And so when things glow blue, we'll be able to activate McTwist's ability by keeping Z pressed, and then there we go, rotating to activate the freezing time. And eventually we'll be able to collect some upgrades by collecting many impossible ideas, and these essentially serve as the star bits, I mean the currency of the game. And so you destroy items in order to collect as many of these as you can. You find them in chests, over which there are 200 plus in the entire game. There are so many chests that we need to collect. It's very annoying, but you also get a lot from fights, which you are graded on Okami style. It's kind of weird, and it's not the worst thing in the world, but they put them everywhere by cutting grass down and, you know, finding them inside of statues. It's very bizarre, but this game will encourage you to collect many of them, because as you saw earlier, we unlocked an achievement. And their achievement system is really robust because they unlock cutscenes and concept art, which is kind of cool. But one of the achievements is to collect 50,000 of these little star bits, and it is a little obscene. You also get some for destroying furniture and defeating crabs and things like that. It's very odd, but it'll all become a lot more easy to do in the future. So spinning signs are going to be important. So using McTwist, we have to freeze it so that it'll tell us exactly where to go, and the motion controls in this game are very bad. I think you guys will probably not hear the end of me complaining about them and their inaccuracy, but just a heads up, they're not the greatest, even if you're using Wii Motion Plus like I am, and I'm about 6 feet away from my cursor. So we're purposefully going in the opposite direction so that you can see just some of the other little areas this game has to offer. And amongst other things, you're going to be seeing a lot of things we're going to have to backtrack to, such as this floating chest. As you'll see, it's glowing purple, which indicates that it is sensitive to telekinesis, a power we don't yet have. So once we grab that, we're gonna have to return back. But I think there's nothing really worth backtracking for, unless we have all of our characters, which is not gonna be for a while. So you're gonna tell me to go the obvious direction, which I will do, and we'll destroy more bramble. So we're not gonna be able to upgrade any of our combat moves or just, you know, our health or any of that until after we find them in the overworld in the form of chess pieces. And they're actually pretty rare, and a lot of them we won't get until near the end of the game, which is really dumb. Over here, we've got sensitivity to invisibility and yet another floating chest. So yeah, I think you can already tell where this is going. To find your path, you must watch from a higher place. All right, well, we can now jump up here, and this will tell us, due to the power of poor draw distance, we'll take this path and we'll just go along over here. Hopefully find Alice. I'm not entirely sure how she could have gotten so far in such a little amount of time, but probably has something to do with the fact that we're clear-cutting all this grass and destroying all of these statues. I hate the fine arts. They're useless, man. So over here, we're gonna have some very angry roots, and so we just freeze them, and then we're good to keep on moving.
Hello? Anyone here? What a curious dream.
I tell you, McTwist, that's not Alice. She doesn't even recognize the place.
Give her a chance.
Curiouser and curiouser.
I told you it was her.
I'm still not convinced. McTwist, that is most definitely not her. She's not even wearing the right dress.
Who's not her? And who are you, if I may ask?
I was so sure.
Wait, you're talking. A talking white rabbit in a waistcoat. That's...
Impossible? Impossible things are more common than you might think. You should know that.
If she was the real Alice, you would. You got the wrong one, McTwist.
let's not be hasty. We should find Absalom and ask him. He's wise. He'll be able to tell us who she really is.
But I know who I am. I'm Alice.
Absalom will be the judge of that.
Absalom is absolute. Follow me, please. And do try to keep up. Underland has become really rather dangerous since the Red Queen took the crown.
Oh, you got that right. So at long last, Alice has joined the crew, but of course, in good old-fashioned 2010 gameplay standards, we will not be able to play as her. So we press down to move the camera.
Tell me, who is Absalom?
And Alice will often talk to herself. We will literally ignore her anytime she asks a question or makes a statement. She'll say, "Oh, I wish I could do what you do, McTwisp," and I'll just ignore her. So if we continue on over this way, we're going to notice, it's gonna be a bit of a fight. Wait, over where? Okay, I'm gonna go this way because we have the angry Deku Tree, and he is not very pleased to see us. So sign is gonna tell us to go this way, but the second that we do, he's immediately gonna block us. So what we need to do is lure him over here, let the camera auto switch, and then freeze him while he's here, turn around, and cheese it. Go! Run, McTwisp! And he's gonna be very disappointed. Oh.
Has that thing gone?
I think so.
Although I would probably not have a conversation over this spot where he is known to just kinda, sprout up out of nowhere. But let's keep on going this way. And something that's kind of funny is that if you let her anywhere near like a bench or just things that she'll just randomly interact with.
Why is this thing spinning so?
Oh, well, it's magic, you see. We can actually destroy it while she's sitting on it, and she just runs away. So we're gonna freeze this, and it's gonna tell us the same thing. We have to watch from a higher place. So let's head up here and see where we need to go. And it looks like it's gonna be right over this way.
It's that way. I can see the gate, man.
Absolutely. So let's go over here, destroy some of this, and hope that there are no hidden chests that I'm gonna miss. Obviously, I'm gonna be trying to go for 100%, but it's not gonna be ideal because a lot of it's gonna be really boring backtracking. That's literally 20% of the game, maybe even 30. It's absurd. But we're gonna go this way, and we're gonna continue onwards and hopefully find our telekinesis friend before long. And spoilers, we don't get to play as Absalom in this version of the game. Also, Alice does not do a happy-ass jig in the middle of doing nothing, so I'm sorry if you came for that. It's not gonna happen. But here's the door we need to go through, or the gate rather, and I'm just trying to keep an eye out for more floating treasures. So we'll grab those soon enough. For now, let's move on through here and see what lies in this room.
At last, a way out.
Indeed.
Oh my, it's them.
And now it's time for our first taste of combat, which is really annoying because the combat in this game is literally just button mash the game. And later on, it gets absolutely terrible. Who's behind me? There was nobody behind me. And just like before, if they get Alice, they're actually going to, they're gonna bring her back and you're gonna have to button mash to get her out. So what I would like to do is switch to Malcolm because she is going to be your prize fighter. She's faster and she gets an upgrade later that doubles her attack speed. So she's definitely somebody that you really want to utilize to your best effect. So here is that scoring, just like I mentioned before, never getting hit gets you a ton of points.
Those awful things.
Red Knights. Nothing for you to worry about. We won't let them hurt you.
What a relief, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So it's hilarious. Whenever Alice gets caught, she's going to be holding on to the inside of the red heart vortex thing. And she's going to, her voice acting is so bad in it. I want to see it happen. But first, we need to progress a little bit further. And depending on what character you're playing as, they will have different dialogues for all of the people you talk to. So it's kind of interesting. And there's a certain character that I think is hilarious in his dialogue. But let's move forward and talk to this old dying Rose. Oh, she's just asleep. All right, well, apparently we can't do a whole lot about that. But if we talk to this one...
You seem a little lost. May I help you?
I do hope so. We need to get through this gate, but these awful thorns are in our way. Do you know a way past?
I certainly do. Speak with Rosemary, that withered old flower in amongst the brambles.
But she looks fast asleep. How do I wake her up?
Do you know the song Jabberwock Knup?
Jabberwock and what?
Jabberwock Knup. Sing the song and she'll wake up.
Okay.
But I don't know any song named Jabberwock and Up.
Well, luckily for us, one of us does, so let's go ahead and approach as McTwisp and sing our little hearts out.
It goes like this. Jabberwock Knup!
Oh, my painted petals. What time is it?
It's late, Rosemary, and getting later. Can you open these gates for us? We need to see Absalom.
Absalom? Whatever for?
We think we found Alice, that little girl from years ago, remember?
When he says we, he means him. I'm not so sure it's her.
Little Alice, you say? Where is she? Show her to me.
Here we go. All right, so we press plus to call Alice, and every single character that does it is incredibly denigrating to her, and it's hilarious. So you rarely ever have to use this, but when you do,
Please try to keep up.
they're extremely dickish about it. It's hilarious.
So, Miss Alice, is it? Underland is probably rather different from the last time you were here, no?
I'm afraid I don't remember being here before. Actually, I feel quite lost.
Lost? But if you're lost, why don't you use your Alice thread?
Alice thread? I've never heard of...
Excuse me. Rosemary, can you just open the gate so we can get through? Absalom is waiting.
I wish I could, but I don't think I can. Look at me. I've been here such a long time. My branches are practically fused to this infernal gate.
Time can be so terribly cruel. Don't fret. I'll fix him.
Oh, will you now? And of course, with the power of time, we can actually end up reversing the ages of people, which means I don't know how McTwisp isn't like a Grandmaster Wizard in all of this, but let's just go ahead and activate.
Upon my word, Mr. McTwisp, thank you. Through the gate you go. And do give my regards to Mr. Absalom when you see him.
Oh, so here we go. This yellow pillar indicates a save point. So we'll go ahead and save. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Next time on the game, we are going to continue our adventure, hopefully meeting up with Absalom and perhaps a very skittish creature who, if you guys remember from Madness Returns, is probably not going to be very fun to adventure with, but I hate it. I'll see you guys next time.